Well, today's video is going to be a little bit different because when I went to go import my original footage, I realized my mic was muted the whole time. So I went back and played it through with like a little commentary of recording myself talking over what I think I was doing. So apologize for that. But so for today's video, we went in with the right mindset. I was talking about, waiting for the right setup, trying to practice my patience. However, the market's just ripped for 30-40 minutes and it just got to me, and I admit I FOMO'd into a trade at the time the markets turned, of course, because that's what always happens. I would assume some of you guys probably did the same thing, so it's a pretty common mistake. I know shouldn't have, but that just kind of set the wheels in motion for the rest of the trades, because then after that I just kind of started over trading, just the typical traders mistakes that we all do and that we're trying to improve on. I'm sure some of you who are, you guys are professionals, so you guys don't ever make these mistakes, but yeah, I still struggle with them, and I thought I was gonna do better today with that, and the markets just outplayed me. They tricked me. They got me. If you're new here, we are working on an Apex prop firm account. I have the details on the screen. If anyone's interested in signing up for Apex, there's links in the description. They are still running a 90% off right now, so like you can get this 25k account for it's like $18 for the first month. Super cheap. Anyways, enjoy the video and have a good weekend, and let me know how you guys did today. Hopefully you caught that move at 10. That's the move I wanted to catch, and I didn't. So yeah, have a good one. Appreciate it. So at the beginning of the day, I was recognizing that we had this like point of resistance at 220, which was interesting. It's forming kind of like a W pattern on mainly the 1 minute chart, but a little on the 5 minute chart as well. I was switching my contracts to break them out into single contracts. That way I could take them off one at a time versus all three at once. And here I was discussing that I would have normally bought at the 220 level, but at the breakout, but I was saying I'm going to be patient today and wait for the pullback around 220, maybe like 210, 200-ish, where all of this support potentially could be, and wait for the pullback and get in long. So had the right idea. And then of course, like, the market's just ripped. Talking about just all the crap that was coming out. So the market's ripping at 10 was most likely from this news. And I was saying that I would have liked to get in at 220 at the break. And this instance, it would have worked out, obviously. But as everybody keeps telling me, wait for the pullback, and that's all that's what everybody says to do, is wait for the retest, not the pullback, sorry. Wait for the retest and then get in. So like, yeah, it would have worked out this time, but historically it doesn't like work out that often. So I was practicing my patience and waiting. And the market's just ripped all morning. So of course, like, the FOMO feeling started to creep in. And I start trying to talk myself into different points of entry. As we push 300, was maybe wanting to get in on a maybe a little consolidation range up here. And of course we did get in, bought 3 at 283. And this is when the markets decided to started to do their pullback. I waited for 30 minutes watching that push and never got in, as I shouldn't have. And I get in at the end because my patience just finally got to me, and the markets tricked me, and I FOMO'd at the very end, where you're not supposed to. And as soon as I saw this huge red candle forming, I recognized that. See, this is me laughing at myself. Let's kind of skip through it. I moved a few of my exits up just to try to de-risk, so all 3 weren't going to exit for 23 points. So I did at least try to minimize my loss. Point of control just moved up, historically indicating that we are going to continue on the downtrend because we had a huge push. Point of control moves up to the top of the daily range, and we are already starting the downward move. Should have just got out as soon as I saw that, or reverse positions, and there she is, stopping me out. So after that trade, we were down $115. Not as bad as if all 3 exited at 60, but skipping forward, just making these huge moves down. I think I got it. Yeah, here we go. So came down, started, it looked like we were gonna start moving back up. Maybe that was, in my mind, I was thinking maybe that was kind of just stopping everyone out who also FOMO'd. And then maybe we continue moving up. Got in again. Obviously moved my stops down a little bit. Just skipping forward a little bit. Here we got out of 1 contract for a loss. Again, just trying to de-risk a little bit so I don't have all 3 at my max stop loss limit or whatever. Once I start realizing hey, this was a bad trade, trying to think in terms of just, okay, let's try to get out 1 or 2 for a smaller loss than a larger loss, if that makes any sense. I don't remember what I was talking about here, but yeah, we're just in this trade still. I think I was kind of hoping on the 1 minute chart, we came down to the bottom of the Keltner channel. We're at the moving average on the 5 minute, so I'm just kind of hoping maybe that would push us back up a little bit. I was about to add 3 contracts here. My stops moved up to break even, or a little above break even for a little profit. Recognized that adding those 3 was a bad idea, so I did take them off. So I did catch myself and not do it. And then those extra 2 contracts for a small profit of $8.50. So now we're down 145 on the day. Not ideal. After the first trade, should have just recognized hey, missing this move, getting in at the wrong time, FOMOing, I'm obviously not in I'm not in a good mindset, so I should have just probably exited there, but it's not what we do around here. Not exit, I should have just stopped trading after that first trade, but yeah, we don't do that around here. Again, I have a bias of always wanting to buy, so like I find myself like looking for reasons to buy, and here I was like trying to put a line, thinking, hey, this is maybe we are gonna continue trending up, so maybe I should wait for it to come back down here where I got stopped out and buy again. Again, bad idea. I did sell right here. This was my one good trade today. Point of control moved down. We were already in the downtrend. My thought was like, hey, a bunch of volume just came down here to get the next push out. I went to break even. We were up a good amount right here. I kind of freaked out, panicked, and just exited all. What I was wanting to do at the beginning of the day is, when I had a trade like this, was to, like what somebody commented yesterday, was to, when I'm up a good amount, since I'm in 3, take 2 off at that point to really secure some profits and just leave 1 runner. And as you'll see, we got out at like 226. If we left 1 on there, we could have secured some more profit, but I didn't. I exited all, and then what did I do? I freaking bought right away on the same bar. I bought because at the beginning of the day we were talking about like this 210 level between like 200 and 220 as the pullback after this move. And I'm like, well, here we are, so let's buy, because that was my original theory, and usually like my first thought is the best one. Shouldn't have done it after like I just was in a trade, so that should have just told me, hey, don't trade for like 10-15 minutes anyways. But we went from like minus $150 to now only minus 30, and seconds later jump into a trade that, so I bought right here, and I mean, we got stopped out pretty quickly, and now we're back down to minus 120. So not too happy about that. Again, another indication of just stop now and get off the platform. But you already know we didn't do that. I believe again, like, oh, right there we go, we bought again. I'm always looking to buy, it seems like. Talked myself into buying because we're trading outside of the Keltner channel. On the 1 minute we were around near the lows of the Keltner channel on the 5 minute, so just figured, hey, why not buy? Instead of waiting for a confirmation, I got into a trade prematurely, which I know I need to not do. And we just kept slowly going down again. I don't remember what happens on this trade. I think, pretty sure it's a red trade. Just skipping through 30 seconds at a time here. Okay, so we're up right there. That's not bad. And I do say here that I recognize that this was not a good trade, so if we make anything on this trade, it's just out of pure luck. I mean, there wasn't much thought into it. Shouldn't have got into it to begin with. I know you hear me say that a lot because I make a lot of bad decisions trading. That's why we're here, is try to learn from those bad decisions and mistakes and improve on them. Looking at ES, it came down and touched point of control, so I was really hoping for like a strong push up on NASDAQ. I got out of 1 in profit, and then my other 2 moved up to in profit as well. And come down and hit those. So down $85. This is where I ended it. I am just talking about, I know I made mistakes today. I went into the day, I think, with the right mindset and the right thought process and the right goal of waiting for a pullback, and it was difficult for me to sit there and watch this move and sit out of it. And of course, as soon as we get in is when the market's doing that. I'm assuming a lot of other people got caught as well, because that's a pretty common mistake, and I should know better, and I do know better, and I recognized it almost immediately. And if the market, I don't know what the market's doing right now, but I would not be surprised if it just continues on the uptrend, but whatever. So yeah, sorry for the weird video today. I usually check my mic and make sure that it's on and that it's recording my voice before I start, but I didn't do that today. And there's me getting ready for the intro that nobody got to hear, and I had to redo it. So, appreciate your guys' support. Appreciate you for watching. Have a good weekend, and see you guys on Monday.